4 years old, 53 members, 20 lives impacted, and over 500 hours contributed. This is Enactus Glasgow. We believe in the power of teamwork and community to create a more inclusive and sustainable world.
2021, 4 out of 5 incidents of domestic abuse in Scotland, 80% of the total reported number, had a female victim and a male perpetrator. We at Enactus Glasgow have made it our mission to empower these women and help them reintegrate in society, creating a safe and supportive environment.
We are a diverse team coming from different countries across the globe, including Scotland, the United States, India, Italy, Germany, and Brazil. What unites us at Enactus Glasgow is the passion for improving the lives of the members of our community and promoting gender equality.
I am Srijini, the president of Enactus Glasgow.
I am Ellis, co-project leader of Bright Her.
I am Emanuela, Writer project member.
I am Arya, Easy Finance project member and one of the 53 new students who have joined Enactus Glasgow this past academic year. In addition to advancing the work of our established project Brighter, we have also launched 3 new early stage projects: Easy Finance, Of Your, and the Period Poverty Project.
Although we have quite the selection of projects, the one we would like to highlight today is Bright Her, a project that we believe demonstrates entrepreneurial leadership, innovation, and makes use of a sound business plan to positively impact our local community.
To better understand what the project stands for, we must listen to one of our beneficiary stories. Fahima moved to Glasgow in 2016 with her family without speaking a word of English. After surviving domestic abuse, Fahima looked for safety and founded at Enactus, a charity which provided her with safe but temporary refuge accommodation for herself and her children.
Although physically safe, Fahima now lacks confidence and a sense of belonging, which is only exacerbated by her inability to express herself in her mother tongue and a limited personal support system. Since the refuge accommodation is temporary, she's now trying to think about her future. But the question is, where to start?
And that's when Bright Her comes into play. Our mission is to empower women like Fahima and others from the Black, Asian, and minority ethnic communities who are facing additional challenges, such as language barriers, child caring responsibilities, and a lack of support systems, and to help them to become aware of the opportunities available to them, providing them with practical resources to reintegrate into their local community with more confidence and self-awareness.
Brighter has demonstrated entrepreneurial leadership by recognizing the opportunity of connecting with local charities and helping to support their service users' needs for social support and community building. With the reductions in government funding, Scottish charities have faced unprecedented challenges and need the support of their local communities even more to ensure they can continue to offer vital services.
Scottish Women's Aid reported that 4 out of 5 of its services received no increase in their funding. Although they ensure to continue offering vital services, the charities themselves need the support of their local community.
Bright Her has successfully engaged 17 members and maintained a strong relationship with 2 partner organizations, Enactus and Women's Support Project, who put us in contact with these women.
Enactus is a Scottish women's aid shelter that aims to provide support to women and children, but primarily from BAME communities who have experienced domestic abuse in any form. The Women's Support Project works to raise awareness and petition for improved services for domestic abuse survivors.
Throughout the lockdown and the additional challenges presented by COVID-19 restrictions, the Bright Her team has demonstrated flexibility, adaptability, and resilience. An initial needs assessment was undertaken by interviewing charity staff members, trying to understand both their needs and the women's needs.
The initial idea of hosting the workshops in person was no longer viable due to the COVID restrictions, along with making and selling handmade candles, which represented our source of revenue. By providing and hosting online workshops, we have demonstrated our team's ability to manage risk and think innovatively by providing an alternative solution to fulfill our beneficiaries' needs.
Brighter offers 10 workshops of 90 minutes, the first series with Enactus and the second one with the Women's Support Project. each with 10 attendees for a total of 20 participants. The workshops focus on upskilling our beneficiaries, providing them with the tools to gain employability skills and become financially independent.
A typical workshop consists of icebreakers, a guest speaker, then an interactive component with group tasks in breakout rooms. This created a sense of community and companionship amongst the women.
Have come up with new themes for this year's workshops, which are goal setting, self-care, building confidence, public speaking, and skill sharing.
Hosting the workshops online was an excellent move during the pandemic. However, with the recent easement of COVID restrictions, Bright Her was forced once again to innovate and adapt to a changing environment as the workshops could now be done in person.
Although we changed the themes, we kept the structure of the workshops the same as last year due to positive feedback received by both the charity's employees and the women. But this time we had to adopt a hybrid format. The workshops hosted for Him Midwife are online, while the ones for the Women's Support Project are in person.
Nahed, who is working at the Women's Support Project, commented,
As staff members, we observed that women would look forward to attending these workshops each week. Over the 5 weeks, we noted their confidence levels were growing and they were comfortable to share their opinions as they felt there was no pressure and it was a safe environment.
Bright Her's impact was further demonstrated by the feedback of Fahima herself.
These classes have given me better understanding, a sense of more confidence, self-love, and positive perception, irrespective of our circumstances. It was a welcoming environment for everyone to put forward their views and opinions, and I really enjoyed participating in each one of them.
Thanks to Bright Her's workshops, Fahima is now planning to start her own small business to find a source of independent financial stability and to have an active role in her community. Bright Her has certainly tested, developed, and improved their business plan over the years. We feel confident that our model is solid and sustainable.
The Brighter team members volunteer their time to make 100% vegan, recyclable, and cruelty-free candles, which are then sold. Through this revenue stream, we are able to reinvest the profits in the project by buying more materials needed to make new candles.
We also have a good relationship with the Glasgow University Union, which allowed us to participate at their volunteering fairs, where we were able to sell all our candles and even accepted pre-orders, making £60 profit so far.
Each candle costs £6 with a profit margin of £4. By returning the empty used candle jars to the Bright Her team, customers will be able to get £1 off their next purchase, thus fostering a circular and sustainable economy.
We won £500 of funding as winners of the Social Shifters Carousels for Change Challenge, which consisted in writing and designing a social media campaign regarding the Bright Her project. This funding has been vital for covering the costs of the first series of candles we have made.
The money raised through the selling of the artisanal candles is reinvested in the project, specifically to pay for the DIY materials to make the candles, covering the beneficiaries' Wi-Fi costs. And since some of our workshops are hosted in person, we are also paying £30 per hour to rent a room in the Woodland Community Centre.
In addition, we are also working with 3 Glasgow-based artists to create posters celebrating female empowerment and sustainability. These posters will be used to spread awareness, fund Bright Her, and financially support the artists.
As we have demonstrated, our business plan is sustainable for the long term, and the project meets not 1, but 4 of the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals: good health and well-being, gender equality, reduced inequalities, and responsible consumption and production.
This year, Brighter had to review its recruitment methodologies. While participating at the Glasgow University Union volunteering fair in February, we sold our candles, but also recruited new volunteers through in-person networking instead of adverts on social media. This resulted in having 10 new faces at the weekly meeting after the fair and many more after that.
With events and meetings being in person, our members are more engaged, bringing more ideas and enthusiasm to the team, but also motivating existing members to continue with the projects they are working on. We took this year as an opportunity to strengthen the relationship between the board and the projects by hosting socials every few weeks. These were a great way for team building, enhancing a sense of community, which was difficult to cultivate during the lockdown.
Enactus Glasgow has grown this year from 35 to 53 active members, with 17 being involved with Right Her. Our dedicated team has contributed more than 500 hours to Enactus, impacting the lives of 20 people just through Right Her. We cannot wait to see how our other projects will develop in the next months and how our social impact will grow.
Right Her has undertaken a journey of change and adaptation, demonstrating our resilience through COVID restrictions, growing our dynamic team, strengthening our business models, and continually innovating the ways in which this project has become more sustainable. Winning the £500 funding from Social Shifters and selling all of our candles at the volunteer fairs are just two of the greatest accomplishments we have achieved this year. We envision a rapid growth for the future, involving more volunteers and increasing our beneficiaries' numbers.
Through Brighthurst's success, we have proved that at Enactus Glasgow, we are the next generation of socially responsible young leaders on the front line of reducing gender inequality and promoting responsible consumption and production, taking youth social action in the face of adversity, and supporting economic inclusion and recovery. Our people are entrepreneurial, value-driven, and social innovators. Our people make Enactus Glasgow.